I think it goes without saying that The Last of Us is widely seen as the pinnacle of gaming, and after 7 long years and a multitude of delays, we are mere moments away from picking up our DualShock 4s and diving back into the world of cordyceps and misery with The Last of Us Part 2. There's lots to be excited about with this highly anticipated sequel, and equally lots to be worried about, and perhaps even scared of. But today, we're filled with anticipation and are going to focus on the former. Before we set off, as usual, make sure to like the video and subscribe to stay up to date with Rabbit Hole Media. And now that's out of the way, here are 5 reasons we are excited for The Last of Us Part 2.
There are so many mind-blowing things to experience in the world Naughty Dog has created. But there's some kind of dark, miserable beauty in the aesthetic that keeps you coming back for more, firmly planted on the edge of your seat, wondering what horror you'll run into next. There's something about the way Mother Nature takes back what was once hers that is simply mesmerizing. And The Last of Us does this in such a way that it makes you look out of your own window and remember not to take the streets outside for granted. Exploring abandoned houses, collecting letters and journals from those who once lived their normal lives, learning about how the pandemic swept its way through town after town is all delivered so beautifully. And the notion of getting to do this all again in a new, wider and prettier locations is just sexy as fuck.
Now, no one's going to sit here and make the argument that The Last of Us has the best gameplay design in all of gaming. It just doesn't, which is why we are excited to see how this has developed for the sequel. With Ellie being the main protagonist instead of Joel, you get to take advantage of the agile speed and flexibility of someone in their teens as opposed to their 50s. Going prone, hiding in tall grass and bushes, climbing over previously unclimbable obstacles, all in the service of exploration, combat, and running for your fucking life. It is also nice to know that Ellie can swim now, because I will let her sink to the bottom of the Pacific before I get her one more fucking pallet.
Like we just said, the gameplay isn't exactly mind-blowing, but the action sequences themselves are, and fucking hell are they brutal. There's something oddly satisfying about caving a man's head in and actually seeing his brain splatter on the wall behind him, isn't there? From what we've seen so far, Naughty Dog are taking the gore to the next level in the sequel, and I couldn't be happier. But it's not just blood and guts that we like, as all of your violent actions have serious consequences in The Last of Us. Combat isn't something you have to do, or should even just run into. It is a game of pros and cons, risks and rewards. Do you take out that clicker to give yourself a cleaner path through, or do you leave it alone in case of alerting anyone else to your presence? How about a group of armed human enemies? Do you A, John fucking Rambo your way through the situation, or B, stealthily eliminate each and every one of them like a silent beast? Well, I choose C, sprint like the little bitch I am and hope they don't shoot me.
The cast of The Last of Us is essentially a who's who of video game actors that you'd probably want to hire if you yourself were making a video game. The performances in this game are outstanding, which is one of the reasons we love these characters so much. Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson, Nolan North, and with Laura Bailey joining for the sequel, all of whom act their hearts out, creating such real and personal relationships that you can't help but fall in love with, or love to hate, depending on the character. All these characters, all these relationships come together to form what will be the final entry on our list. The story.
Okay, if I'm being honest, I'm not ready for this one at all. I'd argue excited is the wrong word to explain how I feel about this story being continued, cause fuck me is it traumatizing. We left Joel and Ellie about to embark on some kind of happily ever after, in a way. I can't bear for Ellie to find out about that lie, or for Joel to do something brash and ruin the relationship they built. But The Last of Us is very much a real world story, and things never end happily in the real world, let's be honest, so who am I kidding? Come on Ellie, let's go fuck shit up.
What are you most looking forward to about the sequel? Tell us in the comments below, but don't be a quintessential dickhead. If you post a spoiler, we'll spoil you. You can decide what that means. We'll have plenty of Last of Us coverage on the channel over the coming week, so for more like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Right. Suppose I better go and clear some hard drive space.
I'll walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil, because I'm blind to it all. In my mind, my gun, they comfort me, because I know I'll kill my enemies when they come.